Welcome one and all to Theme Park Vision. I am inside Pigeon Forge, not at Dollywood, because today I have been invited out to the Hatfield and McCoy Experience by one of the descendants of the Hatfield family. I am so excited to head on in there and see what all this museum has to offer and see all of the great history behind the feud that is the Hatfield and McCoys. So without further ado, let's head inside and see what this experience is all about. The Hatfield and McCoy Experience is located at 107 Old Mill Avenue in Pigeon Forge and gives guests the opportunities to learn the true history behind one of America's most famous family feuds. Rather than being a theatrical production, this is an interactive museum that tells the story through authentic artifacts, family stories, original documents, photographs, and a self-guided tour. What makes this experience especially unique is that it was created with the help of Jack Hatfield, the great-great-great-grandson of William Anderson Devil Anse Hatfield. Hearing the history from a direct descendant adds a personal perspective that you won't find anywhere else. Throughout the museum, you'll see hundreds of original artifacts along with interactive elements including the Team Hatfield or Team McCoy challenge, a scavenger hunt, and a self-guided exploration. Your admission also includes souvenir earbud headphones that you get to keep after your visit, and there's a gift shop featuring books, apparel, souvenirs, candy, snacks, and more. The attraction is open Sunday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Friday and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. The admission is going to be $29.95 for adults, $26.95 for seniors, $17.95 for children ages 7 to 12, and free admission for children 6 and under. Locals, veterans, active duty military, police officers, firefighters, and EMTs can visit for $21.95, and group rates are also available. I do want to mention that I'm not going to show every part of this experience because I don't want to spoil it for anyone planning to visit. My goal is to give you a preview while leaving plenty for you to discover on your own. Without further ado, let's hear some of the history from Jack Hatfield himself, and be sure to stay until the end of the video where I'll be sharing my interview with Jack and asking him a few questions about his family history and the experience himself.
When they come into the museum, into the interactive museum, they scan a QR code which will allow them to open up the app on their phone, which will narrate them through the timeline of the feud.
Okay.
While they're reviewing all the artifacts and everything. So
that's fun.
You start out, of course, in the Civil War because the feud kind of spun off of the Civil War. So you kind of, this is like a data dump in the beginning because you're learning about the Civil War and what life was like on a tri-state border during the Civil War when all these states were at war and fighting, and how that turned into the feud itself, and then just escalated from there. Basically. So everybody focuses on, the hog trial and all that, but there's so much more to that story.
It's a lot of history.
Yeah, the hog trial part is the Hollywood version. All right, yeah, this is the
Hollywood
real
took it and ran with it.
yeah, this is the real version, not the Hollywood version. So, of course, it goes into the families, and you learn about each family and some of the family members and the key characters in the feud, things like that, and how certain things came about, which translated into the feud. And one of my favorite pieces, this is Floyd Hatfield's trunk from the 1800s. This was Floyd Hatfield was the Hatfield involved in the hog trial.
Okay.
Yeah, him and Randall McCoy. So this is like one of my favorite pieces. So it's very fragile, but it's his original trunk from his homestead up there. So this was my great-grandfather Devil Anse Hatfield's axe. So he actually owned a logging business, and that's how the land trial and the hog trial are together.
And everything else.
Yeah. So this is from his logging business, and they used oxen to pull the logs out of the mountains. So that's an oxen shoe that we also dug up on the property. This is one of my favorite things. So this is my great-grandma Levice, which was Devil Anse Hatfield's wife. This is her rouge case.
Oh, and it's still...
Well, this is the original here.
Okay.
And I bought that as an example.
To see what?
So you could see what it looked like, because I'm afraid to open it. I don't want to open it. But it's the exact same example, you know. And then, you know, belt buckles from like her shoes and her clothes and her thimble. It's going to be our moonshine label.
Okay.
So that'll be coming out probably in the next 3 to 6 months.
And you said it's called
The Devil's Lightning.
Devil's Lightning? Okay. What all is that going to like entail?
Right now we're starting with 3 flavors. You have your clear, which is called the Feud. And that, of course, is our base, right? And then Randall McCoy actually grew up, Randall McCoy lived on Blackberry Creek. So, of course, we had to do blackberry for his flavor.
To get that.
So we got him blackberry, and then devil ants, cinnamon, fire, devil.
Makes sense.
So we're starting out with clear, cinnamon, and blackberry. However, we plan on doing a full line.
Okay.
So there'll be a lot to come on that, and hopefully that'll launch out in the next 3 to 6 months. We'll have it
Which
definitely
one's
in West
your-
Virginia and Tennessee. Huh?
Okay, so both. So
Yeah.
which one's your favorite?
Of the 3,
Mm-hmm.
the cinnamon.
The cinnamon.
Yeah. We're coming soon exhibits.
Oh.
So we will be having some more cabinetry and things put in that will become kind of a seasonal rotation of different stories of people in the feud, after the feud, Appalachian history and culture, and just different things that'll kind of rotate throughout. But that's to come. Right now we gotta get all the base stuff on, right? Going.
Many people know the Hatfields and McCoys from popular culture, but not necessarily the real history. What's the biggest misconception guests have before visiting, and what surprises them most after they experience the attraction?
The hog trial, of course, is what is fascinates everyone. But it is part of the story. It's a very minute part of the story. So they're shocked when they leave here that it wasn't over a hog. They've been lied to their whole lives. So that's probably the most shocking part.
While preserving the history of the feud, how do you balance historical accuracy with creating an engaging experience for today's visitors?
It's very, very hard. We even discussed a little bit of that while we were walking through here.
Yeah.
Some of this stuff is not even in legal documents or court documents. Some of it's stories passed down through the family. And I make sure to tell everybody I am not a historian. I am not. I'm a proud grandson who likes to tell family stories. So, I try to make it as accurate as possible, but there's so many characters. It went on for so long, and there's so many pieces and facets to it that it's literally impossible to get it all correct. Literally impossible.
You weren't there to experience it, but
Yeah.
I think it's cool how you can kind of, based off of what you've seen and what you've discovered, you
yeah.
can kind of intertwine that and get the story.
Yeah, it's a little harder, but that's what I do. Try to.
As a direct descendant of the Hatfield family, what does it mean to you personally to share this story with visitors, and what do you hope they take away from the experience?
Well, my personal mission is to undo Hollywood's portrayal of our family history. It was not over a hog. So, like I said, it's a very minute part of the story. So that's my goal, is to educate everyone. It wasn't over a hog. But at the same time, I'm able to connect with our family's history. I'm able to preserve, what artifacts and things that we do have still remaining today. Both families' homes had a home fire where most things were lost. So, there's not that much that's direct from our family out there today. So, I try to preserve what I can of it with what I can get a hold of.
How would you describe the Hatfield and McCoy experience to someone planning a trip to Pigeon Forge for the first time, and what makes it a unique attraction worth adding to their vacation itinerary?
Okay, yeah, sure. So the Hatfield and McCoy Experience is an interactive museum. So when you come in, you're narrated through the whole story, and it's about a 50-minute tour, and you get to see a lot of the artifacts and things from the families and the feuds that's still remaining today, and it's all authentic, 100%. So everything that we have here is from the family, from the property, whatnot, passed down. So this isn't a Hollywood portrayal or somebody else telling the story. This is directly from the families.
So that was absolutely so much fun to get to be a part of that experience, and thank you so much, Jack, for inviting me out. That was amazing. I especially love the interactive part of this, where you get to scan the barcode and then you get walked through the entire tour. It walks you, it has a little scavenger hunt. There are so many great things to see, listen to, and enjoy at this experience. So if you are in Pigeon Forge, please be sure to come check out the Hatfield and McCoy Experience, and let me know what you think, because I'm very curious. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know whenever I go live or post new content. Have a great week.